Hey sports fans, back at you with another one. Please hit the subscribe and like button and comment. Let's get into it. Here we go again with Terrence Crawford, finding a new way to duck Earl Spence. This guy is unreal. He really believes in his own mind, along with all his other fanboys. That people can't see what he's doing. I seen where Golden Boy wants to sign him to a multi-fight deal. Just listen to who he might be fighting. Racha, Oritz, and Blair the Flare. This is amazing. And Racha has already knocked out Blair the Flare. This stuff is laughable. If he ends up signing with Golden Boy, that puts the nail in the coffin in Errol Spence being undisputed at 147. He won't be able to wait until Crawford finish fighting 2 or 3 fights. That will be 1 year or 2 years down the road. And Spence won't be able to make the weight at 147 for much longer. I just have to say something. I'm so disappointed about that Spence Crawford fight is not happening. Only because I wanted to see if Spence could unify all the belts at 147. It did not really matter to me who he fought for it. That clown Crawford just happened to be the guy with the other belt. Or last belt. How messed up is that for the rest of us? We got this circus clown hiding the belt he has from Spence. This dude, I believe, is scared of Errol Spence. It's not about the money. He does not want to get hurt. He's seen what Spence did to Ugas. That man is running scared. Enough of Crawford for now. I wonder why these other channels and fighters don't call out this guy who is shaming boxing. For me, unless Crawford is fighting Boots or Charlo, I don't want to see that clown. I would not spend a dime on one of those crappy pay-per-views Crawford is in. I have a prediction to make. I think Terrence Crawford will be exposed this year, and we're going to be able to see the reason why he didn't want the Spence fight. I think Crawford will be stopped or knocked out this year. I know most of you think I am crazy, and I will get a lot of flack from it, but that's okay. Just when he does come back here or give me my love. Anyway, Crawford might get tricked by Golden Boy into fighting Errol Spence. Hear me out, Golden Boy is greedy. If Crawford signs with Golden Boy, Oscar could flip the script, and the next thing you know, Crawford might not have a choice but to fight Spence or retire. Remember, Spence Crawford is a big money fight. Why would any smart promoter leave all that money on the table? Crawford could have just jumped out of the pan into the fire. All this cowardly stuff he's been doing is going to catch up to him. Just think about this. If Crawford truly in his heart believed he could beat Spence, he would have took the fight, beat Spence, and be in control of the 147 division, and proving beyond a shadow of a doubt he's the pound-for-pound king of this year. And be like Canelo and Mayweather and make millions of dollars fighting nobodies, and no one would have said a word because he earned it. No, he never believed he could beat Spence. He was just all talk, like his whole camp, just running their mouths. When it got real, they backed down. Now, with all that said, if he ends up fighting Spence this year, I will give him love and write some good stuff about him. Yes, I will eat my words. I have no problem doing it. But he won't just watch. This smoke screen of signing with Golden Boy might not happen because he will come up with excuses not to sign, because the road might lead him back to Spence. Look, I said my piece. It would be nice if I'm all wrong, but all of Crawford's actions points to exactly what I have been saying. He don't want the Spence fight. Anyway, we have some real good fights coming up, and I'm really looking forward to that. Plant, Benavde's fight, they don't like each other. The press conference was real testy. They acted like they wanted to fight right there. They had to be pulled apart. Besides all that, they both are great fighters, so this will be a good one. We'll talk more about it in the days to come. Please like and subscribe and comment. Thanks for stopping by.